It's common to see mega projects being constructed on land, but taking architectural ingenuity into the water is a whole different ballgame. I'm not talking about a small-time offshore rig. I'm talking about sea projects that are as massive as some cities on land. That being said, these are the 5 largest mega projects on sea set to launch by 2025. You know, it's hard to talk about mega projects without mentioning Dubai. The city has been in the limelight for decades, thanks to its bustling real estate and beautiful sceneries. Now they're taking it a step further by building what is known as the Floating Venice Resort. Has your imagination started running wild yet? I guess so. Now imagine the city of Venice, but this time, floating on the Arabian Gulf. That's exactly what Dubai is working on, and it's set to be completed by 2025. But what exactly are the features of this masterpiece? To begin with, the resort will look just like the real city of Venice, with gondolas gliding through the canals. But that's not all, as the resort will also have underwater hotel rooms. Yeah, Dubai has always been known for its high taste for luxurious things, and the Floating Venice Resort will not be an exception. Of course, this is no small project. The entire resort will span up to 4 million square feet. And just in case you're wondering how large this is, that's approximately 70 football fields. The resort will be split into 4 decks with only one level submerged beneath the water. As for the hotel rooms, they're being built with thick glass-walled suites, which will give guests a pleasant view of the coral reefs and underwater creatures. You'll agree that this is much better than the regular street or beachside views you get from hotels on land. But there's more. The resort has as many as 414 luxury cabins and 12 restaurants that serve a variety of local and continental dishes. Guess what? Some of the restaurants are underwater too. And it doesn't even end there. There's also a floating luxurious spa for guests who feel like getting spoiled. Speaking of which, the resort also has boutiques that sell the very best of designer clothes, shoes, bags, perfumes, and accessories. But this is Dubai we're talking about, so don't be shocked to see some gold-plated gondolas on display. Now, you can expect that this resort will come complete with a full Venice theme. That's why there will be small boats to take guests around the mini canals, which will give tourists an authentic feel of the real Venice. But unlike the real city, the Floating Venice Resort doesn't have traffic jams and unwanted noise, so you can be entirely at peace. I have to mention though that this project costs more than an arm and a leg to build. Specifically, it costs around $680 million to bring this project to life. But with the number of tourists expected to troop in once it's finished, then you'll agree that it's money well spent. Sadly, the resort won't be open until 2025, but look on the bright side. That gives you enough time to save for the trip. Next up is the Amala project in Saudi Arabia, which is being built with the aim of transforming the relaxation industry forever. The project is located on the Red Sea coastline, which will be turned into a highbrow destination for arts, wellness, and sustainability. The mission here is simple: to offer visitors something so extravagant that even the most luxurious setting will feel average. But this is no ordinary relaxation center. It's probably the largest you've ever heard of. But just how big can it possibly be? Well, 3,800 square kilometers. That's how big. But just so you truly understand how massive it is, the Amala project is bigger than the city of Los Angeles. Now, with a center so big and luxurious, the target audience is clear. The project aims to attract the richest travelers from all across the globe. Those who are privileged to afford its luxuries can explore the 3 main zones within the project. That's the wellness retreats, the art centers, and the marina villages. This means you can get your much-needed detox in the morning, view some exclusive artwork in the afternoon, and catch a yacht cruise in the evening. In fact, the builders of the Amala once said they're planning to create a brand new vibe called the Riviera of the Middle East. True to their claim, would you believe that these guys are actually building a brand new airport on the Red Sea coastline? Yeah, they've made it clear that they want to separate their wealthy guests from regular travelers. And who can blame them? After all, they've been working on this luxury project since 2020, so it just can't be for anybody. It's expected to open by 2025, and by 2030, the Amala would be able to boast 14 luxury hotels, over 100 villas, and many more high-end boutiques. As for how much it costs to build this project, there's been no official number, but it's estimated to run into billions of dollars. This comes as no surprise, as we're aware of how far the Saudis can go to build something extraordinary. But this project isn't just about luxury. To the developer's credit, it's being built with an eco-friendly approach. Hopefully, the yachts and private jets expected to troop in on a daily basis understand this too. Moving away from the luxury side of things to some serious business, we have the Chancay multi-purpose port in Peru. Of course, Peru isn't the first country that'll come to mind when there's a discussion about mega projects on sea. which makes this project even more surprising. The purpose of the Shanghai port is simply to improve on the region's trade infrastructure, and no dollar is being spared to make this dream a reality. Approximately $3.6 billion is being spent on the construction of the new seaport, and the funding came from none other than COSCO Shipping Company. Once it's finished, this port will serve as a major player as far as trade between South America and Asia is concerned. And no, this is no small seaport by any metric. It spans over 1,100 hectares, and it's so big that it makes the Panama Canal look like a swimming pool. The port is being built about 80 kilometers north of Lima, and it will have several logistics parks, terminals, and enough space to handle more than 1 million shipping containers per year. The port will also have the most technologically advanced features, and thanks to its deep water docks, it'll allow shipments from Peru to bypass the detour through the Panama Canal. This will save shipping companies both time and money, as shipping across the region will become relatively seamless. But it doesn't stop there, as the Shanghai port will have several customs offices, logistics centers, and even direct connections to highways and rail lines. And once it's fully functional, it'll create hundreds of thousands of jobs in Peru, thereby boosting the country's economy. Now, the construction work has been ongoing since 2019, but the good news is some parts of the port will be functional by 2025. Simply put, Shanghai is on the path to becoming a forerunner in modern-day shipping, thanks to this larger-than-life project. The Arabs pop up on the list again, and this time it's the Red Sea Project, which is another weapon in Saudi Arabia's arsenal to ensure they become a global tourism powerhouse. Now, we know the Arabs like to do it big, but just how big will this project be? Without mincing words, the Red Sea Project will span over 30,000 square kilometers. And for clarity's sake, that's bigger than the entirety of Belgium. That's quite overwhelming, but with as many as 90 islands and over 200 kilometers of coastline, this project is nothing short of gigantic. But this project doesn't take pride in just being big, as there are other aspects that make it one of a kind. Of course, the first aspect is the world-class luxury it has to offer. But there's also the no plastic and zero carbon policy, which makes the Red Sea Project an eco-friendly masterpiece. As you would expect, the project aims to attract wealthy tourists who are looking for a blend of adventure and comfort. It'll have private villas on remote islands, mangrove tours, desert lodges, and even underwater hotels. To take things several steps further, the planners are even bringing their own flora and fauna, just so that the area's biodiversity thrives. For the guests, this will make them feel like they're saving the planet while enjoying the good things of life. The first phase of the project is set to launch in 2025, although work has been ongoing since 2018. But once it's been completed, the project will have more than 8,000 hotel rooms alongside multiple luxury resorts. There will also be enough private beaches for those who want to relax away from others. That's a lot of luxury right there. No wonder the project costs as much as $8 billion. Last, but by no means least, is the NEOM floating port and industrial complex in, guess where? Yep, Saudi Arabia. Let me cut to the chase by telling you straight up that this is the largest mega project on sea right now. It's going to cost an earth-shattering $500 billion and is part of Saudi Arabia's larger megacity project. I have to tell you that this is no ordinary seaport. It's an infrastructure that promises to redefine how trade is handled globally. Sure, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan includes a lot of commendable projects, but the NEOM floating port has to be the most important of them all. This port will feature the most technologically advanced amenities ever seen in a port and will stretch across several kilometers along the Red Sea. The port will encompass logistics, manufacturing, and even renewable energy production. I also have to mention that the port will be almost 100% automated. Yes, robots will be on the ground to handle almost all the work. But even with all this tech, the NEOM project still has eco-friendliness in mind. It'll serve as a hub for green hydrogen exports, and this will make it one of the most eco-friendly ports on the planet. Construction began in 2019, and it will take decades for the entire project to be completed. However, some major parts of the port will be functional by 2025. But you wouldn't expect a project with such a high budget to be finished in a hurry. Speaking of the budget, the $500 billion dedicated to the NEOM project not only makes it the largest project on the sea, it also makes it one of the largest projects in human history. These 5 megaprojects on sea aren't just the largest in the world. They're also going to define the future of luxury, tourism, trade, and industry. From the breathtaking underwater hotels in Dubai to Saudi Arabia's ambitious NEOM floating port, each of these projects give us a peek into a world where limits don't seem to exist. Now head to the comments below and tell us which of these mega projects on sea blew your mind the most. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful megastructure content.